First off, I want to wish everybody that watches my videos happy Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving Eve, I guess. And I'm going to try and work on the car a little bit today. I got a couple of free hours and I'm going to try and get this fender lined up. And I don't, it's just a lot of fiddly horsing around, I just got to get this down a little bit. So I'm going to unbolt it again and try and shim it down, pull some shims from here, add some down there. Just need to bring it down just a little bit, and then I might get the portapower in there. And I got it fitting pretty good, but I can stick it in here. You can see that brace right there. And I might just push this out just a smidge. I mean, it just needs so little. It really needs it down here where the hinge is maybe, but we'll see. It's in really good shape in there. I mean, look at the bottom of the doors, even nice. Did I ever show I mean, that just a little bit of surface rust there, just clean up real easy. Really in good shape. This is all the original paint in the door jambs. I'm going to pull this rocker panel off to make it easier to adjust the fender, and it's all got to come off for paint anyway. Everything I'm taking off is just less work down the road. When I go to paint, I took the 352 emblems off, took the antenna off, the fender molding, that. The only piece I got left is this, and I'm going to pull that off too. Now, I've been hemming and hawing about just taking the fenders off. There's 2 bolts here, bolt here, a bolt here underneath here, one here that goes the inner fender, and then the ones around the inner fender, and one right there, and the fender's off. And I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking I might take them off to strip them and paint them, and then I can paint the inner fenders a little better. And it's this far apart now. I didn't intend to take this car this far apart, and it's going to be a summer cruiser, a driver, not a concourse show car. And I want to make it so I can take it out and, have fun with it. Not be afraid to drive it in the rain, or, if it's crummy out in the summertime. But anyway, I'm going to, if I pull the fenders too, I'm going to paint the inside of them body color like it originally was. Just put a quick, maybe 1 coat on it, and kind of like the factory did. But that's kind of where I'm at. I'm hemming and hawing. I'm kind of on the fence about pulling the fenders, but I think, and I just set this back in. I was just sitting there. I just set that back in just to kind of help line up the body. And but anyway, yeah, it's just this gap here. I got it pretty much. It's in a little bit here still, so that still needs to be pushed out right in here. Whoops, sorry, right in here, and get these gaps lined up. It's just a little high there, a little high there, a little high there, and I think I can. There's 2 shims there. I can pull them out, or one of them anyway. And when I put the shims in the bottom, it pulls the fender and pushes this in, but it brings these down to line up. So I think I'm going to bring them down and get them lined up. Then I'm going to put the portapower in there and push the fender out until it lines up. And then I'm going to take the fender off so I can paint I might not take them off until I'm ready to spray. But I can take them, it'll take me 10 minutes to pull a fender, literally. And I even got these rubber grommets off. This fender is basically ready. I could strip it and paint it. And, and the same with it. And that's all the body work that has to be done on the car, So it's all got to be done like I say, so taking an extra, little bit of time to pop the fenders off. And then I can pop the doors off to get in the door jambs. And I'm going to paint the doors off the car so I can, all the door panels will be off, the weather strip will be off. I'll take the doors apart and paint them. So that way it's all painted in here too, and in here. And I can paint all this nicely with the doors off. I don't really need to take the fenders off to paint all this nicely, but it would sure make it easier. And then if it's nice out, when I go to paint the fenders, I can take them out to my spray booth and spray them, and then it saves me covering everything up in the garage and a whole day of masking. You know, I could just take the fender out, hang it from my cherry picker, spray it, roll it back in, you know, do both fenders. And I don't know, I'll figure out something so I could do them both at the same time. And this, and the hood. You know, I can take them all out, the doors, I could take out the trunk lid, and then all I got to do is cover everything when I go to paint the rear quarters. And if I have the car in running condition when I go to paint the rear quarters, I can just back it out to the spray booth and give it a spray. And I have, you know, I've had people ask me about my spray booth. I'll show it to you. This is my spray booth. So I just bring stuff out here and spray it. You know, you get this time of year, there's, you know, no bugs. You get in the January, February thaw, you get 50, 60 degree days. That's perfect for painting. I like it kind of cooler when I paint, and it just turns out nicer, I find. You know, about 60 degrees is ideal, I find, for painting. And a lot of the trim is off this fender too, and I don't know if I'm going to pull this rocker. I just want to get the other fender lined up. This fender's pretty good. I can't complain about the gaps on this door. They're really nice. And I might adjust the striker on this. Like the door just closes a little too tight, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It's actually pretty good on the bottom. Maybe when I put it back on, I'll just out maybe a 32nd of an inch. It's just in maybe a 32nd of an inch. It might not even be worth horsing with that little bit. It's just so minuscule. I mean, doesn't even really show up in the video. But I want all the body panels fitting perfect before I paint. So when I go to put fenders and doors back on, I know I can line them up without having to scratch or bend or, you know, do anything that might damage the new finish. So that's why this is a stage where before I start painting, to get everything fitting and lined up. This is actually brand new, and I just, you know, it's kind of annoying when you can't get in. So I got this. And this will only come out a little bit, but you know, and it's got holes where I can screw it to a block of wood if I want, and I can put blocks of wood on this end, you know, and I can do whatever. And this is probably what I'll use to push that fender out, as opposed to like this. And that way, you know, you can, when you have small stuff like this, you just have a little more control of where you're pushing and whatnot. Wow, what a pleasant surprise. That's the original paint on the rocker panel. That's the original grain. Look at how clean that is. Looks like that's a screw clip hole there, so that's not even rust. It's actually a hole for the body clip. But yeah, super clean rocker panels. That's unheard of in Michigan to find a car that still has rocker panels on it that's, you know, 20 years old or older. That is so nice. And I got the body panels lined up pretty good. Now I just need to do a little pushy in here, and it should be all, the fender should be lined up then. Some of these rivets are not through. We'll fix them when, I'm going to drill all the rivets out anyway, and when I paint, you know, take all these clips off, and then they're just pop riveted on, and then I'll put them back on after I repaint the car. You know, that way I can get paint underneath here. But that is so awesome. That thing is in such great shape. The little rubber drain thing is still there. I mean, this is unheard. I'm not used to finding cars. You know, I'm used to Michigan rust buckets, and this car is super extra solid for its age. All right, I'm going to get the portapower in here and work on pushing that out a little bit. Just kind of using blocks of wood and putting in there and just pushing it out a little bit. So I pushed it out a little. Now I'm going to take all this out, close the door, and see how it fits. And if I need to push it out a little bit more, I will. It's definitely coming out. It's getting there. It's fitting pretty good. It's just a little bit right in here. And then we have it. It fits amazingly well right now, other than right here. And I'll push that out a little bit until it's even with the door, and we'll call it good. And then I can start cleaning the underneath and start painting the underneath and the frame. Perfect. Yeah, really nice. Alright, all the body panels are lined up on the car now. I got put the weather stripping back in for the window there, and everything's lined up. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better fit. The door works really super nice. I mean, couldn't ask for, before I'd have to really whale the door to get it to shut. Closes like a dream now. All the body panels, you know, I mean, it just fits so nice. I don't think the camera is going to show how good it fits, but it fits amazingly well. And the little bit of, when you got to really look, that's the little dent right there. I mean, you got to really look, and I probably can work that out with my body hammer and not need to put filler in it. It's so minor. Came out super nice. Really happy with it. So I might I'm going to pull these these moldings, and then the fenders will be devoid. You know, I mean, I'm going to repaint the car, so all that's got to come off anyway. And as I said earlier, probably, I don't know. So now I'm going to do this maybe underneath Friday and start painting the chassis up. And but I think it's kind of late in the day now, and I don't want to, you know, get this super nasty this late. And I'm going to wait and do it all in one day. I'm not going to get super nasty twice. So I think what I'll do is I'll wait, and Friday I'll get underneath the car and clean the whole undercarriage all the way to the axle. Then maybe Saturday or Sunday I'll start priming the chassis up and getting things ready to paint. And I had to take this one, the earlier one I got back, because this part here I was just trying different attachments. Oh my god, it leaked oil out. It's so bad it worked. It just puked out oil everywhere. So anyway, they Harbor Freight exchanged it for another one. I mean, you know, if I was working in a shop and making my living, I doubt I'd buy Harbor Freight tools. But for the backyard mechanic in his home garage, they're just fine. I mean, you know, I'll probably use this once or twice a year. I've wanted one of these for eons, and I've always fought with things, and, you know, just tried to wedge jacks in places and stuff, and it's just been to the point where, okay, I should have bought one of these 20 years ago. But anyway, we got one now, and it did the job. So I'm going to wrap this video up, call it a day. I may bead blast some headlight buckets and, you know, just putz around doing some minor little things. All of it needs to be done sooner or later. But as far as, you know, just tearing into things that's worth videoing, it's just, that's why these videos are short. There's just not a lot of, you know, it's just, nobody wants to watch me sand the undercarriage or clean the undercarriage, and I don't really want the camera down there and all that dust and dirt either. It'd kind of destroy the camera. So I'm just going to putz around with, I got a whole slew of stuff here. This was with those bulbs from the state sale. But I'm going to start, you know, I got all this stuff to clean and paint, all this stuff to clean and paint, all these bolts, all has to be done. All this stuff, that's, you know, so the bumper brackets need to come off, and those need to be blasted and painted. So yeah, so I got plenty of work to keep me busy. It all has to be done sooner or later. So anything I do is moving towards getting the car done. And it's just nice being able to work on this part without the drivetrain in. So I'm probably gonna take the fenders off and then before I paint these. I'll wait and take them off right before I paint these because these take me 10 minutes to get that fender off. I left it all loose except for this bolt and the bolts down here just so I could get it all. Oh, and these bolts I tightened back up here too. But all the ones in the wheel well opening are loose, and I just wanted to get the fender fitting and then I can take it off the paint so I can then I'll strip the fenders and paint them before I put them back on the car. And may put the machinery back in before I put the fenders back on so I don't scratch them up leaning over and stuff. I should start on that power steering gear. That's probably what I should do next, and get that master cylinder off the power booster so I can paint that up and get the wiper motor done. All that stuff I want to put back in before I put the engine back in. And of course all control arm bushings and springs and everything need to go back in too before the engine goes in. So I get the chassis painted up and it can start drying, and then I can take the fenders off and get these painted, and then I can start putting the suspension together and then drop in the drivetrain and then go to town on I'm going to do from the axle back after I get, this is pretty clean. It's not going to take a lot to, there's a little surface rust here, but that'll clean up. Frame's as solid as a rock, really clean. It's better shape back here than it was under the hood, and you see how that cleaned up. So I'm going to clean all the way up to about where those jack stands are sitting and paint to there. And then I'll just leave the drive shaft and the exhaust out of the car until I'm ready to, until after all that's cleaned and painted back there, and I got to tear the rear brakes apart, check the rear control arm bushings, make sure the parking brake cables work. If they don't, I'll replace them. Just kind of go through and get everything, I want everything ready for the machinery before I put it in. Alright, that's a video. I'm babbling on, so day. If you like my video, hit the like button. If you want to see this cool old Galaxie resurrected and all these parts that are strewn everywhere eventually go back where they belong, subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.